Welcome back. Excited to be back here on Monday, and excited to have Hank Coleman back with us, who's personally founded several popular personal finance sites and most well-known for moneyqa.com. Welcome back, Hank. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, Ben. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the very beginning of our show, but did you hear about the GlaxoSmithKline and their $3 billion payoff, basically, to get out of being drug dealers?
I was listening in and out. I was more interested in you trying to talk in the beginning over the intro and not having your mic on.
Now, you should have seen the mad scramble of me trying to figure out how to turn my mic on, which was a whole nother...
me yelling, no,
Heather,
no,
don't hit those buttons. Don't hit those buttons.
Well, I tell you, I can't wait to watch it on YouTube because I'm watching the live feed streaming on the internet, and it looked great. I could tell that you were trying to talk, and nothing was coming out.
It's my lip-syncing abilities. Well, Hank, we're not here to talk too much about lip-syncing, but I appreciate your feedback.
No problem.
So, I think with the way that the real estate market is right now, a lot of people maybe can't, across the country, maybe can't afford to move. And some people have some just changes in their family, and they really do need to do some home improvement projects. You recently wrote an article about the certain home improvement projects that'll actually pay you back. And I think it's pretty interesting about, where you kind of see the most value being returned.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can all kind of understand that, maybe where in the past we'd want to sell our house and move on or move up into a nicer house, maybe nowadays we're kind of stuck where we're at. And so we kind of have to make the house that we have right now the best house it can be. So that means, adding those upgrades that, maybe you bought a starter home or maybe you're on your second home that's not quite the finished, the final product, the final home that you want to retire in. But now's the time where if you're going to be stuck someplace, maybe now's the time to start making that home, closer towards the final home that you've always dreamed of, rather than that starter home.
And it seems like that was something people did more in the past. I can, like my parents or other people's parents, they wouldn't move all the time just because they wanted a new bathroom. And it seems like we've kind of trended back that way, where people aren't just moving because of a small imperfection in the house they're living in.
Sure, I think things are coming full circle, or maybe it's cyclical. Maybe we're going back to a time, like you said, of our parents where we don't move as much, and maybe our children will see another housing boom, and they're going to be selling their houses, upgrading their houses, and flipping their houses. So it kind of ebbs and flows, and maybe we're just in a down trough where everyone's just kind of holding where they're at, holding their home, and making the best that they can.
So why'd you end up writing this article? I mean, is it because of that cyclicalness? Is it because people aren't moving? What kind of inspired you to write this?
Well, that definitely, you can see the writing on the wall, see people not moving as much as they want to. But actually, it's kind of funny. I'm always looking for great ideas on things to write about for moneyqa.com. But my bank actually ran a poll on the side of their login page, and the poll was, what remodeling projects do you think have the best payoff dollar for dollar? And it was very interesting to see what everybody thought, and some that were not quite on track.
We're here with Hank Coleman from moneyqa.com, whose work's been featured in dozens of newspapers and online. Hank, so that really becomes the crux of why you wrote this. It has to do with a survey from your bank.
Right, exactly. I guess we all kind of get immune to those ads on the right sidebars of all these websites we keep going to and things like that. And I just happened to look over, and my bank obviously doesn't advertise other than their products, but they advertised a poll, and it caught my eye, and it was very interesting to see the responses that everybody had. And then the bank adds some little tidbits of what they thought were the best bang for your buck remodeling projects. What
did you find is the biggest bang for your buck as far as remodeling projects? I mean, they don't always increase the value of your home, do they?
No. The rule of thumb really is running water. If you're going to do some type of remodeling project that involves running water, you're going to get not dollar for dollar, but you're going to get a high percentage of return on your investment. It's very rare, almost impossible for you to get a dollar for dollar return on your investment. I mean, if you spend 10 grand updating your kitchen, your home value is not going to increase typically by 10 grand. Typically about 70 to 80%. That's about what you're going to get. So if you spend 10 grand, the next time you get your home appraised, you're probably going to see an increase of about 10 grand in your home's value. So like I said, the rule of thumb, running water. So anything with either your kitchen or your bathroom are going to really get you that bang for buck.
Well, you would think that that's also, the kitchen is where people spend a lot of time. The bathroom is kind of what allows families to grow, especially if you're adding bathrooms. And I guess just the convenience. So it would seem that from a buyer's perspective, oftentimes that's really where you start getting into what's desirable, right? I mean, you walk in, you think about, holidays in the kitchen. Everybody's always in the kitchen, Hank,
Sure, absolutely. You're standing around the kitchen. That's the moneymaker for sure. The kitchen, the master bedroom, the bathrooms, things along those lines, But, what you don't see is the ancillary things like a deck or, adding energy efficient windows. While that's a great idea, you're going to see a lot less return on your value. Even adding a third bedroom doesn't quite give you that same return on investment that adding or upgrading your kitchen, adding a bathroom, or upgrading a bathroom provides you.
Or I guess adding a hose nozzle outside. There's running water too, right?
Well, you think, another one is a lot of people sprinkler system or a pool. You think the sprinkler system or a pool or even really nice landscaping would provide you a lot of return, but those actually don't provide you almost any return. A pool can even be seen as a real detractor for new homeowners or buyers looking, because there's a lot, everybody knows there's a lot of things that go in with, a pool, keeping it clean, maintenance, extra insurance, things along those lines. So it might be even more hassle than it's worth.
It's funny, though, you get the hot tub, right? And people always the agents always put in the marketing comments, it's got this hot tub. And there is that perception of, you're always going to use it. But when push comes to shove, especially out, here in Seattle, people aren't in the hot tub all that often. We're here with Hank Coleman. Hank, so these things all cost money. Remodeling costs money. What should somebody think about investing on a remodeling project and why?
Well, a lot of experts recommend only investing 20% of your home value in your remodeling projects. Any more than that, as we've seen lately, because of the swings in home values, decline in home values, the more you spend more than 20%, you're really going to end up having the nicest home in the neighborhood, which is going to make it a nightmare to sell.
Do you think people get caught up in the investing side too, rather than, hey, this is like the place I'm going to live? I mean, you're not flipping a house typically. I mean, I guess there's a different formula if you're trying to flip a house, but if you're remodeling to live in, the goals kind of need to be realigned, it would seem.
I see a lot of my readers on moneyqa.com that use it as a crutch, use it as an excuse. Everybody looks at it as an investment. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's not like I'm, just throwing money away. I'm using it to build an asset. But the problem is it doesn't go dollar for dollar. So you might be spending that money, but you're not receiving, a greater rate of, as good a rate of return as you would through other investments.
Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry. And I was going to say, and heaven forbid that you're upgrading your house in lieu of other financial goals like saving for retirement or like heaven forbid you don't have a fully funded emergency fund and you traded your emergency fund so you have some nice granite countertops.
Yeah, well, granite is desirable, but I guess so is retiring, huh?
But when the engine goes out in your car, you can't pay in granite. It'd be fine if you could. Then I'd be all in favor of it. But yeah, you need that emergency fund first, save for retirement, and then maybe look at increasing your home value.
Well, you make a lot of great points, and we, coming from the mortgage business, which I do, you get people who are like, you get the appraiser out there, and now they think, well, I just put $10,000 or $20,000 into my house since it was last appraised, and then the value isn't matching. And a lot of people don't understand that. And they're like, well, I can provide receipts of how much I put in. And that's just not what the market bears, how much you put in. I mean, you could certainly overdress any property. Right.
Well, Ben, you know as well as anyone, I mean, the value of anything is what someone will pay for it at that amount, that time right then. I was thinking as I was looking back over this article, getting ready for your phone call, here in North Carolina where I'm at, my home builder built out our entire neighborhood and has, say like 80 homes, but only about 10 different home models. So my house is exactly the same as the house down the street. But my house, I have a privacy fence that the home builder spent, $5,000 putting that privacy fence up around, my backyard. And my neighbor doesn't. So if you go on, Zillow or, Trulia, any of those other websites, the values of our two homes, because they're built same year, same square footage, same lots, is exactly $5,000 difference. And our builder commands that difference because he spent, he's one of the rare ones who get 100% return on their investment. But he also has a unique selling proposition where, he can demand those kind of terms. And so maybe I just bring that out. So maybe that's just a point where there are some instances where people will get 100% return on their investments, but they're very few and far between and very specific to location, items, and what the market will bear.
Well, I guess when it comes to a privacy fence, it depends on what people are doing in their backyard. That will really command what somebody's going to pay for it, huh?
Well, I don't want you seeing what I'm doing in my hot tub.
I love it. Oh, I love it. Hey, Hank, thanks so much for joining us, man. I hope you'll come back soon and chat with us some more.
Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Heather. I appreciate y'all having me. I'd love to come back.
Absolutely. Right. Again, that's Hank Coleman with moneyqa.com. You will not be able to see into his hot tub because he has a privacy fence. But on a serious side, the remodeling question is such a big one because people want a home that they can live in, and oftentimes it comes with a growing family. It comes with just the desire to have something nicer and just being really responsible on those type of investments or putting money in your house is extremely important because as Hank just said, you're not going to get it all back. Hank Coleman, thanks so much again. Hey, coming up next, Tyler Freed is back with us. And if you thought there was a lot of distressed properties out on the market, you think there's foreclosures and short sales everywhere, and you're living in Bellevue or Seattle, you're in for a big surprise here after this break. We'll be right back.